Good morning.
Good morning, Shadrach.
How are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. It's been a while.
Right. But finally you're here.
Finally.
Right. So if somebody is wondering who is Mr. Vincent Otumbo, what does he do exactly?
So my name is Otumbo Vincent, and personally I view myself as a catalyst who provokes perspectives leading to change.
What did you just say?
A catalyst who provokes perspectives leading to change, and that means I engage more with people and organizations. I am a co-founder of a company called Strategize Limited. We are located here in Nyali, Mombasa, and of course we have another office in town. What we do is we do training and management consulting. So in training, we are looking at conducting personal development trainings, leadership trainings, soft skills trainings. Apart from that, now in the management side, what we do is we offer human resource consulting, we offer strategy development implementation, and we also do organizational structure building. That's what we do at Strategize Limited.
Right. Very true. Quite a complex. It sounds so hard.
Yeah, sure. But that is what gets people to succeed.
Very true.
Yes.
Right. And speaking about succeeding, we have so many companies, we have people who are running businesses out there, we have people who are running farms out there. How key is leadership and in line with whatever you're doing? Because you're telling me that you normally go do some bit of training about leadership and the entire human resource management, I don't know what. How key is that?
So that's a very good question. Number one, John C. Maxwell says that everything rises or falls in leadership. And when we talk about leadership, it is anchored on something which is very important. It is anchored on communication. So leadership is at the heart of business success. Whether it's internal communication or external communication to the stakeholders, leadership is everything. But again, management cannot be negated, because management is what gets things done, but leadership is what gets things moving.
Do we have a difference between leadership and management?
Yes, there is a very big difference. I'll give you an example for example, we have two people in the organization. We have a leader and a manager. A leader casts the vision, a manager implements the vision. That's the difference. A simple example, a leader casts the vision. The job of a leader is to set the vision for the company, and the job of a manager is to implement the vision for the company.
Right.
Yes.
In line with the vision.
Yes.
Very true. So if one fails, the entire company fails.
Exactly.
Right. Very true. And before even we get to our discussion here, I'm so much interested also in understanding more of the leadership and management theme you're talking about here. We have firms, we have companies which were well known to have to run their operations so well, but currently, when we look at them, we feel like they've gone down. Companies have had to be closed. Do we get the closure of some of these companies and the downfall of these big companies to management and leadership?
Yes, that is why I think it's important to know, or every time as you move forward and grow, you remember why you started something in the first place.
Right.
Because when we get success, especially huge success, we forget why we started in the first place, and we forget leadership. And sometimes we come back to management, and now this is where we go to one of the mistakes people have in business, is thinking that money is everything. When a person starts with a very good vision, but as they go along, they experience success, they forget leadership, leading themselves so that they can lead the organization.
Right.
And they go back to simple things like management. And when we talk of management, it's simply money. I want to know where my money goes. So you draw yourself from the bigger vision and you come into small things that do not make you succeed. Look at big organizations like, let's say, Safaricom. You see, even in Safaricom, even the commercials they shoot and share, they don't sell any product in that commercial, because they are focusing on leadership. They're leading people's emotions to their products.
Right.
So leadership is everything. It's at the heart of organizational development.
Right.
So if any organization lacks in leadership, then there is something that they are going to experience, which is failure.
Very true. Right. Coming back to our topic of discussion now.
Yes.
Capitalizing mistakes in business.
Yes.
What is it?
Number one, if you are a business person, an entrepreneur, and you are not making mistakes, you are not doing anything.
What do you mean, who wants mistakes?
Whether you want mistakes or not, you will definitely make mistakes. I'll give you an example. Soft skills was incorporated in November 2017. Now, I forgot that I'm supposed to be able to file my VAT. Now, in 2018, when I'm doing my 2018 VAT, I realized that I should have filed in 2017. So I was fined 20,000 Kenya shillings. That's a mistake. Did I like it? No. Did I want it? No. But I found myself in the mistake. So mistakes are what makes actually businesses successful.
Right.
But it can only make a business successful if the person running the business, the entrepreneur or the business person under their team, want to learn from those mistakes.
Right. Very true. We'll be coming back on how we can learn the mistakes. But of course, we need also to have scenarios. We need to give examples on how some of these mistakes that we make. But before then even, when we are starting a business,
Yes.
we can't make mistakes while starting the business in itself.
Definitely.
And we also have businesses that are already in operation. But we do make businesses in terms of also during the time at which we are running and managing these businesses.
Yes.
Which mistakes are worse, from the onset or as the time goes by? Which one are worse?
Now, from my angle of thinking, I wouldn't say any of it is worse. A mistake is just a mistake. But I feel when starting, you have an opportunity to do things better. There is a bigger opportunity to avoid mistakes when you are starting. So if you were to give weight, maybe when you start and you want to start with making mistakes, I think that is ignorance, okay, when you're starting. But when you go along, there are things you cannot, you see, like you wake up, there is a pandemic, okay, and it sends you packing. You know, that's something you never planned for, but you were in business. But I am saying that when you are starting, I think it is important to be intentional rather than being ignorant. Hence, you can avoid a lot of mistakes when you're starting.
Right.
So somebody who has not started a business now can actually start a very good business, avoiding a lot of mistakes because we have started and we have made mistakes on their behalf.
Very true. And talking about making mistakes at the time at which we are starting a business, I do believe there are people who are thinking, even have the thoughts of beginning a business. We have those who have their businesses they've just begun their businesses just recently. From your own experience, you as I believe you're a businessman, handling also issues about trainings here. Which is or rather some of the few mistakes that people make when they are starting a business? A few.
So when, first of all, when you contacted me to come for this show, I actually took a liberty to do some research with some of my friends who are running business. And I ranked about 6 to 7 mistakes that we do when we are starting or running a business. But when we talk of starting a business, the number one mistake people do is not doing a business they are passionate about. I'll give you an example. I started businesses way from my childhood. But let me give you a mistake of why when I started a business and I never tapped into my passion. Number one is when I started my cleaning business. You see, I was employed for about 3 years and I was not finding my footing in employment. So I said, maybe let me start a business. So I started a cleaning business. This cleaning business, as much as I love cleanliness, it does not bring satisfaction. Okay, it's not something, even if I fail, I am inspired to start doing again and again. I simply saw people need cleanliness and they can pay for it, and I went for it. But I never asked myself, in 50 years or 10 years down the line, is this what I really want to do? So passion, what is your passion?
Key.
Yes. What is it that you love and you're good at it? That is your passion.
So you want to tell me, for anyone who thinks of starting a business, first and foremost, he or she should look for whatever passion he has in line with whatever she wants to begin, simply because once the business does not work well with you, you can still have the strength to pick it up simply because it's from inside you. That's what you mentioned.
Exactly. You see, what propels you every single day, like Shadrach, to wake up very early? I came here, the show was about 7 and something, but you were there early. It's because that, informing people, inspiring them, updating them is what fires you from within. You see, when you do something you're passionate about, you don't need to be motivated that you need to get an A the way our parents used to do. You need to wake up and work hard until you light a lamp, but you sleep. Deceiving others. That is what it means to passion. Something that comes from within and it powers you, which means even in tough times, you don't need outside motivation to keep you going.
Right. Which is most people now looking at the kind of people who are now starting businesses. Do you think that is one mistake that they make out there? Have you met a few?
Yes, that is even me. I am an example of starting cleaning business because I started because I wanted to pay bills, not because that is what really is my passion.
Right.
Other people start business because they saw Shadrach has started a shop and it is flourishing. So they also start. You see, maybe for Shadrach, that is his passion. But for you, you are simply a copycat, thinking things are going to be the same way. So this person has not checked the location, the capital, the operating capital. You see, you could have 1 million as starting capital, but is that the operating capital? 1 million is to get a shop, put your goods inside and everything, but then what is the money that is going to keep you running? Right.
That's another one.
Yes, so passion is important. Don't copy paste and others also, it's because they have money. You go somewhere, you get some good money and you're like, what do I do this money with?
Let's begin.
Ask your friends, what can I start? You start. And then things are thick. That's one of the biggest mistakes people have, not starting a business without finding your passion. Find your passion. It's very, very important.
Right. From whatever part of the country you are watching us from, I do believe you're taking up a bit of notes concerning the few mistakes that people do when they want to start a business. And I can assure you that whatever we are discussing this morning will be helpful to you in a near future, for those of you who are looking to venture into businesses. But the biggest question, Vincent, is starting a business easy? And what does it take?
So it is easy and it's not depending on someone's mindset. Why? Because mindset, everything. Growing up, our teachers used to say everything is in the mind. So our mindset, but starting a business, it's easy. Last time when I was here, I said you need 2 things for you to start a business. Number 1, an idea, talent, or knowledge that can be paid for, and a person who can pay for that talent or knowledge or idea.
Right.
That's what I say. So you look into yourself and, for example, you say you have a passion for speaking, which means you could either call yourself a motivational speaker or a public speaker or a keynote speaker. And you have schools that want the students to be inspired. You are in for business.
Right.
So it's that easy. But depending on your mindset, so it could be hard or easy, but it is easy to start a business. Ask yourself, what is your passion and who can pay for that passion, and you're good to go.
And you're good to go. And with such, you'll be making up a successful business.
But most importantly, is that you need to have a mentor. That's another mistake people do. They start business.
A business mentor. Do we have business mentors, or what do you mean a mentor?
Yes. You start a business, yet you do not have someone who will inspire you and help you navigate through the path of that business. When I started Otumbo cleaning services, I actually had a mentor who was in a cleaning business. But I told you one of the first mistakes is that you start something without passion. I was not passionate about it. So one day I go to someone's house and I meet a gentleman who looks at me and asks me what I do. And I tell him I run a cleaning business.
Right.
Then he tells me that according to him, I am wasting my time in cleaning business. So I asked him, what should I do? He told me, you need to do something that you're passionate about. This person...
If from your own assessment,
yes,
and the way you saw, because he was telling that to you, what do you think he saw in you that he made him say that you're not passionate about cleaning?
All right, now let me tell you, this person had researched about me. Another big mistake people don't do. They don't research on the businesses they want to start. This person had researched about me. And I remember he asked me, how does your day look like? What do you do? Tell me what you do from the moment you wake up.
Right.
I informed him. So he had done his research. Because I remember him telling me, I have heard a lot about you. And I feel that cleaning business is not something that is meant for you. And my question to him was, what should I do then? Then he told me, you need to do something that you're passionate about. I asked him, can you mentor me? This was his response. I only mentor champions. You have to prove that you are one. And that is when actually 2 months of our meeting, November, Self Skills was incorporated, because now I had a mentor, someone who can provoke, the way I told you, provoking,
right.
Who can provoke my thought process. Someone who can tell me, so you are going this path. Are you sure this is the only way to Nairobi? Have you considered taking a flight? Have you considered SGR? Have you considered road? Have you considered private car? You get? So somebody who provokes you so that you think strategically when you are starting your business.
Right. Very true. Mentor.
Yes.
Very key also.
Yes.
And talking about you as an example, today I'll have to use you as an example. How far did the cleaning company go to, and how did you come about with making that bold move, saying I don't want to do cleaning again, now let me venture into something else?
Number one, people are wired differently. I am wired for risks. I am a very high risk taker, actually. I remember even in my job, I resigned at 7:30 in the morning, and I didn't care how am I going to pay my bills. The point is, they say that there are 2 important days in someone's life. Number one, the day you were born. And number 2, the day you discovered why you were born. So for me, when I was mentored and I had clarity of my passion, I didn't think twice. I started living it. I didn't say I will wait until tomorrow, because I was already actually doing it.
Right.
By the time I was having this, because my passion is inspiring people actually, I was running in my church, my local church, Chani Good News, SDA. I was running a program called Youth Leadership Breakfast. Okay. I was already doing that. I had a business club at that time, and we used to meet at Cafe Aroma in Ambalal every single Monday. So I was doing those things, but now I was doing them part-time.
Right.
Giving cleaning business full-time. But then this person helps me have that clarity. And then I was able to say, all right, let me now go in 100%.
100%.
It's like when you're employed and you have a side hustle. And then you enroll probably into a program, or you listen to somebody who tells you, this thing you are giving, 10%. What if you gave it 100%? So that's what I did. I gave it 100%, and that's why we are here today.
Very true. Coming back to whatever we are discussing.
Yes.
Each of these mistakes, we already know some of them. Do you want to tell me we can still use these mistakes and find a place to grow our businesses?
Definitely, Shadrach, and that is why the topic of the day says how to capitalize mistakes in business. So I will go to some of the mistakes we have already discussed. The number one mistake we discussed is about starting a business without understanding your passion. Now, something that is very important in running a business is time. Actually, people say time is money. I say time is the passing away of life. So when you start a business without finding your passion, number one, you waste your time doing something you don't love.
Right.
Number two, you waste your resources. An example, it's my Otumbo cleaning services. As much as I learned a few things about running a business, can you imagine where I will be right now if I was actually starting soft skills at that time that I started the cleaning business?
Right.
Yes. So if you started already, you can always find your passion and use it to add value to your business. How? Enroll into personal development programs. In leadership, we say, leadership begins with me. If I have the capacity to lead myself, I have the capacity to lead my team members and my customers.
Right.
I love one company here in Mombasa called ESL. You see, their vision is powering our customers into market leadership, which means they are powering themselves so that they can power their customers.
Okay.
Yes. So enroll. Personally, my budget for personal development every single year is bigger than, what can I say, than even a vacation I can take.
Right.
Every single year I have to enroll into a personal development program or go into a conference, into a market, a networking events. I do that a lot.
And the workshops things.
Yes, I do workshops a lot.
Right. And talking about passion, Mr. Vincent here.
Yes.
If I had to begin the business and I realize as time goes by is when I realize that I didn't have a passion for this business.
Yes.
Can I transist that and make it to become part and parcel of my passion, or how do I go about it?
Yes, you can. It's about changing how you view it. You see, my passion is to make people feel good and happy and be contented with what they have. I do it through training and speaking.
Right.
Okay, I have another person actually called Stanley Austin. He does it via Airbnb business. I have a friend called Vicky. She does it through branding. So it's about changing your mindset on how you view it.
Right.
You do it via such a session.
Okay.
We are all serving people, but in different pockets. Your pocket is TV, my pocket is speaking, the other person's pocket is maybe beautiful homes, somebody who made this, you know. Yeah.
Right. And somebody will also say, like, if at all this is not my passion and I had already begun the business, can I close it down and find another business that is in line with my passion? Is that even a good rule?
Not really. It's not about closing it down. You see, other people, they have a business that they run. It may not be their passion, but then they have started maybe a CBO, a community-based organization, a foundation to serve their passion. You see, passion is something that you can do and you're not paid for. But only now, this time around, I'm saying you can turn your passion into profit. But the point is this: do something that is powered from within.
Okay.
You will go far. You will build a timeless business. Look at people like Bill Gates. Look at people like Steve Jobs. These are people we talk every day and we have not met them. Look at the footballers, the soccer, they are here, I can see. Look at Kipchoge. You see, these are people who are after their passion. Age does not retire you when you are pursuing your passion. Money does not retire you. Because your vision is bigger than money, it's bigger than age.
Right.
Yes.
Very true. And before even we get to another problem or mistake that we normally make, there at the passion point of view, we have those who feel like when we look at the job the business that we are doing and the market at which we are in, and looking at you talking about looking at my passion. If my passion does not resonate well with the kind of business, with that kind of market, how do I go about it as well?
I always believe that we are creators. We are creators. So I feel, let me give you a story. 2 salesmen were sent in Africa to sell shoes. Actually, they were sent to do research if shoes can be sold for a certain company in Africa. So one of them came and he arrived and he found nobody wears shoes. He called home and said, people don't put on shoes here. There is no market for our company. Okay, another one was sent, the second one. He found people don't wear shoes and he said, please send me shipments of shoes because everybody here needs a pair of shoes. Has that answered the question?
Right.
You see, where there is no need, a need can be created. Where there is need, a need can be served.
Okay.
That should be the mindset of an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm. So you should also look into how to make the need and serve it.
Definitely.
Right. Very true. To the next mistake now.
Now, the next mistake is, I will say that thinking that as an entrepreneur or as a business person, you are the boss.
That's another mistake.
Yes. When you are running a business, you are not the boss. The boss is the market. The boss is the customer. The customer can fire you and send you packing, and you go home. How do they do that? By buying from someone else.
Right. Why do most people kind of have that kind of feeling that I am the boss? Where do we get it from?
You see this story, nasikia pesa kidogo. Pesa kidogo. I think you've heard this.
Right.
It's something in Kenya we make noise about. Pesa kidogo, ushaanza kuishi nyali, pesa kidogo, ushaanza. That kind of mindset, that is when you think that you are the boss.
Right.
So when you think you are the boss, automatically you forget about customer experience.
Which is a very big mistake in business.
Customer experience starts from your own stuff. So if you show your staff that you are the boss, the staff will start showing the customers they are the boss. And the customers will always choose to where they feel they are served as the king.
Right.
And then they will send you packing.
A remedy of that?
A remedy of that, always see yourself as a servant. A business person is a person who serves. Right now, we are serving Boss TV clients with information.
Right. I believe they will not see me as the boss. But we are Boss TV.
Yes.
They should not mistake that name. Right.
We are bosses who serve.
Very true.
Yes.
I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, you are following up closely with whatever we are discussing this morning. We are trying to take you step by step so that you can understand how best can you capitalize your mistake in business. For us, you are looking also to make it better and grow it to the next level. Number 3.
Yes. Number 3, I'll talk about running a business without structures.
You know, we have people who run small businesses, Bwana Vincent here. Does it even need a structure?
Yes. Whether you are alone, you still need. You see, like when I started, I was doing everything alone. But I was doing it strategically. There is a time I couldn't have time to come to TV because I was the one doing everything. But I learned the following. I'll come and pitch to you as Otumbo Vincent. But when I invoice you, I will invoice you from accounts@serveskills.com, for example, rather than invoicing you as Otumbo@serveskills.com. Structure. So when you see that, you see this is a person who is organized. Structures is understanding this is how the accounts department is going to run. This is how customer service is going to run. Even if you're the only one doing everything, you are able to switch from one phase to another. Structures are important. If you have 1 staff, 2 staff, 3 staff, you need structures. And actually structures, when I was running Otumbo cleaning services, this is what I came to learn. I don't have to do everything.
Right.
Actually, with structures, I learned I can outsource cleaners. Mine is to get the job. I don't have to clean anymore. There is somebody who is very passionate about the cleaning. So I give them their cash. They do the job for me. So I am no longer a donkey in my business. So it is important to have structures so that you are able to allocate resources and collaborate with your few resources that you have.
Do we have, for instance, now, if we do not take that kind of a way of having the structure in the business, what is the ripple effect in the business?
The ripple effect is that, number one, you under-deliver, and so quality is undermined, quality is not guaranteed. Number two, there is fatigue as a business person.
Right.
You actually undergo, it's not even fatigue, we call it burnout. You undergo a very, very serious burnout. Some of the sicknesses I have had, it's not because I was sick, it's because I was suffering burnout. And then you undergo stress. That is why you will take your stress to your clients and to the people you work with. The problem is not that you are stressed, it's the problem is you don't have structures.
Right.
And number four, you end up wasting your resources. Thinking that you are actually saving, you are not saving. I realized the way to make money in business is to spend money. You don't make money in business by hoarding money. Pay the experts. Let the person do the job. You see, like some of the trainers we have in the company are outsourced trainers. If I am not an expert in it, why should I do it?
All right.
But when in business, remember, some of us want every money to be mine. That's why the other mistake now, sorry, I have to go into it, thinking money is everything. So you know that you are understaffed, you don't have a structure, you get a job. That's why you get somebody who is not in a relationship, is advising people about relationships.
Right.
If you are not in one and you don't have knowledge, get somebody who has the knowledge, somebody who is an expert, pay them, even if you make something little, so that quality is guaranteed.
I get another point here, Bona Vincent. Like, we have mistakes that if you want to do away with such mistakes, we need to factor in issues about finance. For instance, the structure you're talking about here, you know, I'll need to have people. And I'll need to pay them. How do I get to balance between my financial status and constraints and also issues about running my business in the rightful order?
That's a very good question. And I always say, Serve Skills has employed me. It's mine, yes, but I'm an employee of Serve Skills. Every single money I make, it's for Serve Skills. Serve Skills pays me salary, which means Serve Skills has money to pay salary to another person. It has money to pay salary to another person, so long as that person is bringing income. So this is the point. If you don't think structures, you don't actually end up making money.
All right.
Because structures are the ones that help you make money. If I have a staff who does something, which means I need to get more income to pay this staff, and this staff needs to do things that make money for the company. So think structures, think growth. If you don't have structures, you don't grow. You become a slave to your own business.
Right. Think structure, think growth.
Yes.
Very true. Quite a bit of thought there. I do believe you're taking up your notes, because I'm full of, I'm trying to grasp a lot here from Mr. Vincent in relation to whatever we are discussing this morning. And we are tackling one mistake after another and how we can capitalize it for the betterment and the growth of the business. We are done looking at the passion point of view. We also looked at the structure and also overthinking that you are the boss, of which Mr. Vincent here mentioned that you should not think yourself as the boss for the business. Just think yourself as a servant whom is offering service to the customer. The customer is the boss in your business or your company that you are handling. Next, Mr. Vincent, where do we go to?
All right, we go to a mistake called planning and strategizing. You know, when we were in university and colleges, when it came to entrepreneurship module, we were taught about business planning. When I started business, I came to learn that business planning is actually a business plan is meant for you, for those people looking for capital.
Okay.
But for running a business day to day, you need what we call a strategic plan, not a business plan. So most people are doing business without strategy. Some of the businesses which have failed in Kenya, family business, it's because of lack of strategy. And where there is no strategy, there is no even succession planning. So when the owner of the business dies, the business goes to the grave with them. Because there was no strategic planning.
How does this strategic plan come in?
Strategic plan is a game plan. It's a plan that has tactics on how you're going to run a business. When you go to military and everything, you know, they always have tactics on how to handle their respective wars.
Right.
Even terrorists have strategies. Even a thief has a strategy. It's unfortunate we business people who are after the goodness, we don't have a strategy, some of us. You see, a thief in Sabasaba will say, I'm going to stand here and look for a person who is in the car, in a matatu, and they have forgotten themselves and they are just having their phone like this, hanging out of the window, and then I'll snatch it. I know, first of all, when they are typing, they have not held their phone with strength. So I'll be able to take it. Or I'm looking for a person who has a very good phone and they're driving their car along before you get to the junction.
Right.
Bondeni. The windows are open and the kid is playing games. And I'll take the phone. They are very strategic. But let's look at business people. Whether you are young or big, it doesn't matter. The size of the company does not matter. You need a strategic plan. When I reach here,
Does this strategic, whatever you're talking about here, come naturally, or you know, I'm trying to figure out?
no, you have to sit and develop it.
Okay.
Number one, what is the organizational structure? How is it going to look like? Is it flat? Strategy. Is it a flat organizational structure? That is actually for upcoming businesses, young businesses. And then this is how the structure is going to be. What are the standard operating procedures for the company? How do we handle customer service? How do we handle customer complaints? How do we handle revenues? How do we handle debtors? How do we handle suppliers? You need to have a strategic plan for the same. You know, what's the vision? How are we going to keep on adding value to our services? Where do we grow from here? What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses?
Right.
What are our strengths? And what are our opportunities?
So very key when we are
And
mentioning
how
about...
does the competition look like? What is our blueprint? How are we going to separate ourselves from everybody else?
Right. Hold that thought, Bwana Vincent. I want to take another short break here.
Yes.
As we approach the end, we are left with how many mistakes to do now?
I think we have covered most of it.
Right.
Actually, we have covered, I was looking at what I was to share today. I think we have covered a lot.
Right.
We have covered a lot.
Very true. But in a summary, if I'm this kind of person and I know I do make mistakes, and now I've learned how to capitalize my mistakes in the growth of the business, how then can I how can I avoid doing and repeating such mistakes?
Okay, so a mistake is actually a mistake when it is repeated. But if it's something that you've learned, you know, you've slipped once and you are ready to move to the next level, it's no longer a mistake. It's a lesson learned in business. So far, we've looked at the following mistakes. Starting a business without understanding what your passion is.
Right.
And we've said whether you started without it, you can use it to add value to your business.
Right.
And if you are starting, it's important to find your passion and have clarity on it. So enroll yourself into personal development programs. Ensure you are consistently adding knowledge and value to your life. Maybe a mistake that now I would like to inject after that passion is, who do you hang out with? That is important.
In business as well?
Yes. Who you hang out with in business, it's very important. Very, very important. I have some of my friends who actually at the end of the month they don't have a show for what they have worked for. Because they spent all the money, and because they feel that they're the boss, they spent all the money impressing people.
Okay.
Because they are the boss. They are the CEO, they are the entrepreneur, so they spend time impressing people who they hang around with. So hang around. You know, yesterday night, I posted on my status. Let me read what I posted on my status. I posted on my status, surround yourself with people who will mention your name in a room full of opportunities. Those are the people you need to hang around with.
You mean there are people who will not mention you in a room full of opportunities? They only mention you where?
I believe you and I know. These are things, whether we are running a business or not, we have experienced. You know, who is in your corner. It's very, very important.
Right.
To hang out with people who are in your corner. Not people who are only there when it's merry. Yes. Hang around with people who will be able to make you move to the next level.
Right.
Another thing is that stop thinking yourself as a boss. You're here to serve the needs of your clients so that you can be able to earn something from it.
All right.
Another mistake we looked at is running a business without structures. It's important. By the way, get a consultant. Consultancy is very cheap and it's valuable. Get a mentor and get a consultant. There is a way a consultant will handle you. Yes, a genuine consultant, a hands-on consultant. There is a way a mentor will handle you, and there are things that a consultant can be able to do to elevate your business and make you thrive.
Right.
And then another thing is that plan and strategize for your business. You see, Rome was not built in a day.
True.
But it was built with strategy. This house was built, actually this house was built, I think, 3 times. In the mind of someone, on paper, and when it actually was constructed. There was a plan in place. We have a plan on what to wake up and where. How come we don't have a plan on how to run a business?
There has to be one.
We have a plan when to buy a car and move from one place to one house to another. How come we don't have a plan on how to run a business? Very important. A consultant and a mentor can help you get a plan or strategize for your business.
Right.
Last but not least, it's not about the money.
So it's not about the money.
It's not all about the money. You can get money, all the money in the world, and never run a successful business. It's not about the money.
True.
Yes.
Very true. Thank you so much, Mr. Vincent, for coming through. I do believe our people out there have understood whatever we've been talking, and it's all about very key points there. Have passion, number 1. 2, make sure that you do not view yourself as a boss, and also understand various issues that come in line with making your business successful. That is what has been our topic of discussion today. But listening to you, maybe somebody is so much impressed with whatever you've said here, and he wants to be part and parcel of more of this kind of talks. Where can they find you? What are some of the sessions that you are planning to have?
Thank you. I can, number 1, our pages are on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Personally, you can find me Otumbo Vincent on all social media platforms, including Twitter. You can find Serve Skills the same way, the name Serve Skills. The current event that I have is one. It's called Stories of Significance, where we invite business people, community leaders to come and share their personal stories so that they can inspire the people who are attending. So it's happening tomorrow. at Tamarind Hotel in Komani Nyali, and we have the principal clerk of Kilifi County Assembly speaking, called William Katana. So if you have time, you can just check on social media and you're most welcome. You can reach out to me by writing an email to otumbo.vincent@servskills.com.
Right.
And I can be able to respond. I respond my personal emails and see how I can be able to take you to the next level, even share ideas.
Right.
So that's what I have coming up. As of the moment, for Stories of Significance, you can listen. You don't have to come. You can go to YouTube and check Stories of Significance and listen to some of the community leaders that we have had in the show, and they are inspiring stories.
Right. And in one way or another, you'll also be inspiring yourself.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Yes.